Hi, my name is DeJeonge, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist based here in Philadelphia. A little about my work. My work mostly focuses on Black hair, Black culture, ancestry, and archiving. What mostly started off as just a journey of self-identification has become just the overall journey of just the overall connection between the past and present of just the histories and culture of Black America. Mostly working on and have been doing for a couple of years is researching my ancestry and building out my family tree. I've been doing it for such a long time, but this is the first time I've been able to actually experiment with bringing it to life. So I've been collecting photographs and documents that I pulled from just like online. So a lot of these are actually my grandmother, who's still present today, her mother, my great-grandmother, and my great-great-grandmother. But I've also been collecting things like census from when they lived in Maryland to move to New York. I have my great-grandpa's the World War II draft card. And then I also have my great uncle's compensation form from when he was in World War II, which is really cool because he was only paid $345 after serving like 2 years. And just seeing things like that almost like makes me feel away because he had to probably experience a lot of things, and that's all they paid him. So these have been building out, but I have one from my mother's side, and then I have one for my dad's side as well. But it's very ongoing as I'm just collecting images, which is mostly the tedious part of it. But I didn't go into it with any type of plan. I'm just collecting images, names, and finding how they're relatable to me. So one of the other things I've been able to have is my mom interviewed my great-grandmother before she passed. We have literal hand notes of just who everybody was. So from my great-grandmother being in Rock Hall to her dad, who was actually a pastor right before he died, and that chapel actually still stands. So it's just all these notes that I otherwise wouldn't have had. Who his mother was, how they died even. So it's just really cool things to have that I plan to add and incorporate somewhere, somehow, but it's just super exciting to see and have this knowledge because not many of us are even able to get this much knowledge. So like on my dad's side, I actually have been building out from his mother. I'm blessed enough to have images of her grandparents on her maternal side, but also images of her grandparents, of her parents, and then her grandparents on her father's side. It's giving me this new sense of self because I'm finding out new things about my family members, about my family, how many of these people were seamstress or working with textiles and things like that. But also, you know, I feel like as in Black culture and Black families, we often don't always pass down stories. A lot of things go very untold. So I feel like I'm finding out a lot of information that just went unsaid and would probably still go unsaid if I haven't started digging. When I decided to lock my hair, I realized I actually didn't have a lot of knowledge about Black hair outside of like what I was taught in school or just taught growing up, which is Madam CJ Walker, getting your hair straightened and getting that perm every couple months, so to speak. So when I decided to lock my hair is when I really started diving into the history of Black hair. And one of the things that's always stood out to me is how before slavery, how we wore and styled our hair would represent what tribe you were from, your rank in the community, your marital status, your age. It was literally your identification. And then I just wanted to start playing with imagery, and I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how over time we have become so versatile in how we style our hair, even on a daily basis, based off of our mood, events, whatever the case may be. And I wanted to start finding ways. And then I just wanted to start playing with imagery, and I was thinking about that versatility, because it also, our hair speaks so much to our identity, but also it just holds this history, right, of just, you can literally look at a timeline of Black hair and just see how much it's transformed over time. And it's also me looking at hair as a fiber, as like thread, and thinking about just how that's all like past coming into the future very much. So it's like when I look at this, I'm just seeing all these different identities of people I've come across in daily life, whether it's friends, family, students, and I really wanted to capture that versatility of how we identify ourselves with hair. So I just like have different braid patterns, because I love the different braid patterns, especially because there was a time where how we braided our hair would also be used as maps or messages to help escape enslavement. So just going from there, but also wanting to capture just general hair culture things. So I have like a picture of the Just For Me's in the hair shop. This is actually my dad hot combing my hair in '97. I was also thinking about just nostalgic, if you know, I remember going to the hairdressers and they have like those flip books and the posters all over the place of, you know, what styles you could pick from, both in hairdress salons and in barbershops. So I was thinking about that, just archiving these hairstyles and identifying Black hair as a fiber, as a thread, and just the way it connects us to our identity and can change on every given basis. In relation to just rituals and spaces and habits of what kind of keeps me inspired, genuinely, my work comes to me in dreams. I definitely will get a very, very vivid image of what I kind of want to do, the idea of it. And then the fun part for me is normally just figuring out how I'm going to make it. So I often don't really have sketches or anything. I normally will sketch after I started it, just to help me figure out like a puzzle or something, but they genuinely come to me in dreams. But I also do other creative things, like I love to cook and garden, which also help me feel very deeply rooted and connected with like my ancestry and history. And it helps me just kind of stay grounded and focused. I find by doing other things like that I enjoy, give me time to kind of reflect and think back on what's next or how a project is working or not working. So yeah.